To prepare your keyboards, I will be presenting to you 5 photos and I would like you to describe them as I flash them on our screen. Are we ready, Andresen? Microphones on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
let
ma'am.
me,
Yes,
if we are
ma'am.
not, okay, please type in your answers by describing the photo that you see on the screen. The first photo is this. What word will you describe this photo? Okay, Joshua answered community. How about the others? Meeting.
Walang lumalabas.
Buffet.
What else? Anyone? Festival. Very good, Andrew. People gathering. Okay, thank you. Tradition, bonding, people eating together. That's correct. Now we proceed to the second photo. What do you see in this second photo?
Occasion.
Communication, bonding as well. How about the list or the set of people shown? You have bonding. They are happy. Okay, thank you, Luigi. The third photo now. Okay, some of you typed Sona. You are very much familiar. We had this in the previous day. Okay, and it was given by our president. Fourth photo. Intramurals, teaching, an event. How about the others? What can you say about the fourth photo? Leadership. Okay, as you can see, we have 2 people in the photo. Yes, they are discussing. Very good, Izel. And for the last photo, okay, I think we have a unanimous answer, wedding. Okay, very good, Anderson. Now, all of these photos have communication in them. So, according to Martin Juice, he made mention that in every form of gathering, there is a particular speech style that we need to conform to. He described or defined speech styles as the form of language the speaker used characterized by the level of formality. When we say level of formality, we can either describe it as either low or high. Earlier, I've shown you 5 photos, and within the people communicating within those photos, the level of formality will differ. When we say low level of formality, the people within the conversation have intimate relationship, meaning they may be husbands or wives, best friends, or special loved ones. While for high, the level of formality for that would be there is a particular profession that someone is talking to, or there is a particular authority speaking within the conversation. So, to identify the different speech styles, let's give you a situation. A student received academic recognition from the school. How will you think the supportive parent would speak to the child? And if they have a friend or a teacher, how would the friend or the teacher speak to that child? Okay, so let's identify the degree of formality. On your screen, you have here a table, and let us identify what would be the degree of formality between the student and the parent. Just type low if your answer is low, and type high if your answer is high, given the situation. What would be the degree of formality between a student and the parent? Now that your answers are in, it's a majority that everybody knows that between a student and a parent, the degree of formality is low because their intimacy level is high. Very good. How about the student to friend? What do you think is the degree of formality between a student and friend? Very good, correct. Your answers are indicating that they have a low degree of formality. Let us check. Correct. So within the conversation of a student and a friend, their degree of formality is low because they have this casual conversation going on between them. How about between a student and teacher? What do you think is the degree of formality needed? Shira said hi. Likewise, Luigi. How about the others? From the looks of it, everybody got the correct answer. Between a student and a teacher, the degree of formality is high because there is a level of professionalism. Now, why is there a need for us to identify the degree of formality? There are, according to Martin Jew's, 5 communicative styles. Affected by the degree of formality, we have the first, intimate. Second is casual. Third is formal. Fourth is consultative, and fifth is frozen. Let us differentiate the 5 from one another. Let's start with the first one. Earlier, I've shown you a photo of a family gathering. We call this the intimate communicative style. Now, what is the characteristic of an intimate communicative style? It is said that people within this type of conversation, they have a relationship which is very close. So most likely, the people within the conversation are, they say, family, best friends, couples, and the flow of their conversation would be most likely about their future plans, the sharing of their ideas within families, and of course, best friends who are sharing their secrets. So when we say intimate communicative style, we have a very close relationship. Did everybody understand that part? If yes, say yes on your microphone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Ma'am.
po.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Ma'am.
For the second communicative style, we have a picture of people or peers that are having a bonding. So in casual communicative style, we have an informal communication between groups and peers. Usually, the conversation between friends do not have close relations. They can be as simple as people that you see in school. They may be your acquaintances, okay? And examples of conversations fall like phone calls, if you do phone calls, everyday conversation with your friends, and chats. The distinction between intimate and casual. For intimate, though they are friends, they are very, very close. While for casual, though they are friends, they do not have that close relationship. Okay? So that is casual communicative style. Again, what are the 2 communicative style that we're learning for the day?
Intimate and
Intimate
casual.
and casual.
Intimate and
Okay, so
casual.
we have
Intimate and
far
casual.
intimate and
Intimate
casual.
and
Thank you very much. Okay. Third one. Earlier, I've shown you the photo of our president who is giving his State of the Nation address. We call this communicative style as formal. For formal, these are speeches where the speaker will most likely not use terminologies that the general public do not know. If you have watched the Sona of our president, he had mentioned more on the topic for um, or on the discussion of what the country is undergoing right now. So prior to the speech, the president already prepared his speech and would be delivering it to the general public. So examples, other examples of formal communicative styles are announcement and welcome addresses. So they're prepared beforehand. So that is the formal communicative style. The fourth one, As you can see on the photo, we have two people. We have consultative communicative style. What is consultative communicative style? In this case, if we have the formal, which is a prepared speech, consultative on the other hand is semi-formal, meaning the people involved in the communication would usually not plan what they would try to say. Examples of this is regular recitation in classrooms, and of course, if you have a doctor-patient conversation, if you go to the hospital, then the doctor would be giving consultation. So that is the kind of communicative style or speech style within that particular relationship. So we have consultative. So far we have been discussing four. On your screens, kindly type what are these four again. The first one is between families. Again, on the screen, yes, very good. We have intimate. The second one, we have casual, formal for the speech of the president and welcome addresses. And the fourth one is semi-formal communication, which is consultative. Very good, Anderson. Now, for the fifth communicative style, this is the kind of communicative style which is done or given during respectful events, meaning these are already given prior to the event and it is known by all. Examples of these events and ceremonies, just like on the photo, is our anthem or the flag being raised. So during these ceremonies, we have a formal communicative style or frozen communicative style where we give out our respect to the flag, as well as during marriage ceremonies, we give out our vows. So those are the 5 communicative styles. What are they again? Onto your screen, kindly type them down. What are the 5 communicative styles according to Martin Juice? Okay, we have intimate, casual, formal, consultative, and frozen. Very good, class. Keep your answers coming. Okay, now that we have identified what they are, let's check if we could identify which is the appropriate communicative style for a certain situation. Okay, so I'll be asking everybody to prepare their keyboards as I will be flashing on our screen certain situations and tell me what communicative style do we have within that particular communication or conversation. So let's start with the first one. Japet sees his dentist for his monthly checkup and inquires if he still needs to wear his brackets for the week to come. What do you think is the type of communicative style between Japet and his dentist? Majority of you answered letter D, correct. That is the correct answer. Between Japet and his dentist, we have a consultative communicative style because there is a professional and a patient that is conversing in the communication. Very good. So the answer for number 1 is letter D, consultative. For number 2, the situation is cousins Claire and Clarice attended a birthday party and had a catching up conversation about the birthday celebrant. What do you think is the communicative style for number 2? You're having a different answer. For some, answered A. For some, they answered B. For number 2, the correct answer is intimate, letter A. Simply because, would anyone want to tell why the answer for number 2 is intimate? How about for JC Evaristo? Could you tell me what gave the answer for number 2? Why is your answer intimate? JC?
Close relationship, ma'am.
Okay, you have identified that Claire and Clarice, what do they have as a relationship?
Close relationship, ma'am.
They are cousins. Okay, they have a close relationship. Very good, correct. For number 3, the situation is section B, we're having their daily discussion on the importance of mental health on their Google meeting with their health teacher. What do you think is the type of communication between section B and their teacher? Again, what do you think is the relationship or the type of communication style between section B and their teacher? Some of you answered consultative. Just like our example earlier, the correct answer is letter D, consultative. It's simply because the students of section B are asking or are having their discussion with their teacher. Correct. So for number 3, it's letter D, consultative. Number 4, during the wake of one patient who suffered COVID-19, the mother gave a heartfelt eulogy in remembrance of her daughter's memory via Facebook Live. What do you think is the communicative style between the parent and the audience for the Facebook Live? Shira answered frozen. Okay. Rowana answered intimate. Let us take into consideration who the mother is talking to. Now you have different answers. Some answered B. Okay, the situation highlights that this is a respectful event. Given that this is a respectful event, what could be the answer? There we go. Now everybody's changing their answers. The correct answer for number 4 is frozen. Why frozen? Because during a wake, this is the time where people would give out speeches that are dear or that would remember the loved one who passed along or who passed away. So apart from that, it can also be letter A because this is a mother giving her message to her daughter in remembrance of her daughter. But if we will be weighing the relationship between the giver of the message and the receiver, it's letter E, frozen. Okay. Last number 5. President Rodrigo Duterte delivers his SONA, which are attended by selected members of the legislative body and aired through the telecommunication channels of the Philippines. Okay. So it leaves us with the last answer or the option which is not yet chosen, which is formal. Okay, the correct answer is number or letter C, formal. So I think everybody got the idea. So that is the end for our discussion. So I hope that we have already identified or differentiated intimate to casual, formal to consultative, likewise frozen. So to give us a breather, to stray away from the strict discussion, let's hear it from JC, Alicia, Nathan, and Ruana Valencia. May I request everyone to turn off their microphones and have the 4 to start off their breather. You may now start, JC, Alicia, Nathan, and Ruana.
It's time! So we are back again. Today we are here at the fifth state of the nation address of our President Rodrigo Duterte.
17 cabinet members are present. This is President longest sauna so far. He mentioned 21 priority bills that he wanted to tackle in his remaining 2 years of presidency.
I am here with the students of CMRICTHS and let's ask them on what they are prefer for this school year. Is it academic freeze or online classes? Let's hear their opinion.
Game na ba? Okay.
Alicia, kindly turn on your microphone.
I
Oo nga.
prefer online classes po because that is the only possible way to continue our studies. If we choose academic fees, po kasi a lot of people may suffer kasi hindi sila sanay. Because almost 1 year of our attention is in online classes. Using social media and stuff, instead of using those in our social gadget, how about we use it for good na lang, like using it to study.
Thank you, Miss Marta. How about you, Miss Valencia? What do you prefer?
Miss Valencia, your microphone.
I prefer
Oh, bakit?
students out there. May mga classmates natin in our country like us. Hindi natin katulad. I mean, they have no access to the internet or they don't have technological gadgets to use for their online classes. And if they ever buy gadgets, they still wouldn't know how to use them properly and they're just going to end up not learning anything. Education can wait. Our lives are at risk. And no student should be left behind. So yes to academic fees.
Thank you, Miss Valencia, for that answer. Let me just ask you something before we wrap things up. I know our both aware sa pandemic na nangyari today, which is COVID, and I know that you know how many comfort COVID cases we have. My question is, if you are the president and you will given a chance to use your power to decide what's good for your country for the president, what's it?
If I were the president of our country, I will first prioritize yung pinaka main problem natin ngayon, which is COVID-19. I will jump the terror bill so that I could hear people talking about what they want to change in our country. Kasi para sa kanila din yun, for their own good. Para sa Pilipinas. Ang daming perang inutang ng Pilipinas, so I think I should use that money para lahat talaga mabigyan ng ayuda. Para lahat mabigyan. I will also use that money for mass testing for COVID-19, especially to our beloved frontliners. Kasi para din sa ibubuti nila yon at para sa atin.
If I were the president, I would bring back nationwide lockdown instead of GCQ here in the Philippines. And more government employees like mga sundalo and police all over the country. In that way, I can ensure the safeness of each individual here in the Philippines.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Miss Marzan and Miss Valencia. Keep safe. Sa mga susunod din, mag-ingat po tayong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you, darlings, for that fruitful breather. Um, As we have heard earlier and as we have witnessed, this is a communication between friends of four. So maybe identify what do you think was the communicative style between or among the four of them? Is it intimate? Is it casual? Is it frozen? Is it consultative? Given the topic that they were discussing earlier, on your chat box or on the chat box at the right side, kindly type in your answers. Some said that it is formal because they are discussing important matters with regards to the speech of the president. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you for that breather again, JC, Alicia, Nathan, and Rowana. And I hope that as the pandemic goes along, your future endeavors would be as safe as well. Okay, so now, since we have a remaining of 9 minutes, on our Google Classroom of Anderson, I've already uploaded our learner activity sheet. Okay, so while we are waiting for the time, you may go over our Google Classroom and answer the remaining questions in relation to the different communicative styles, namely intimate, casual, formal, consultative, and frozen. And then I'll be showing on the screen how you are going along with our upload of the learner activity sheet. So where do we find that? It's uploaded already on our Google Classroom. So go over that tab. I have shared it already on our Google Classroom for everybody's usage. We still have a remaining time of 9 minutes, so please go over the activity. How to answer? It is a file, so all you have to do is download the file and then type your answers into the learning activity sheet. Okay, noted, JC. Are there questions for the others? Are there questions on how to answer the learning or the learner activity sheet? If you have questions, now is the time for you to raise them onto our chat box while you are downloading our learner activity sheet. If you have questions, Anderson, now is the time to write them. For the submission, you will be submitting it tomorrow. Yes, you may use Google Documents. The deadline is tomorrow. So if our class started at 10, the latest you could submit your output is at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday. You will be re-uploading it on our Google Classroom. Alexis, for your question. Are there other questions? If you have already accessed the document, Here it is. On your screen, you see the interface of Google Classroom. There it is. So that's your learning or learner activity sheet. As I've said earlier, the deadline for the submission of this LES is for tomorrow until 10 a.m. Now, of course, if you have other questions, you may send me a message. Are there any more questions? Anderson, mic's on now.
None, ma'am.
None, ma'am.
None, ma'am.
None, ma'am.
So 5 minutes into our time, we will now be wrapping up our discussion for the day. And this is already identified. So Miss Fiona Guzman will do the wrap up for the day. Fiona, are you there? Fiona? It seems that Fiona is not answering. Yes, darling, will you be able to wrap up? What are the things that you've learned for the day? Turn on your microphone, darling. Fiona? Fiona, are you there?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, darling. So, what are the things that you've learned within the duration of our class? According to our discussion, what are the 5 communicative styles that you've learned? If you could enumerate them.
Ma'am, ma'am, wait lang po.
It's okay. Take your time. I hope you took notes. Fiona, give us a wrap up of the things you've learned. Can you enumerate to us the 5 learning or the 5 communicative styles that you've learned today? So it seems we're having a bit of a technical difficulty. Anyone from the class who could wrap up our discussion? How about Aisha? Is she there?
Ma'am.
Ma'am?
Yes, Aisha. Could you give us a wrap up of our discussion for this day? What are the things that you've learned?
Today, ma'am, I learned about the 5 communicative styles by Martin Juice. It is the
Mhm.
intimate communicative style, casual communicative style, formal communicative style, consultative, and frozen communicative style. And I learned about that in our grade 9, we are going to learn about Anglo-American types of speeches.
Okay, Anglo-American literature. Okay, so I guess that ends our meeting for the day. A reminder again to answer your learner activity sheet, which is already uploaded on our Google Classroom. So if there are no more questions, good day, Anderson.
Good day,
Good
ma'am.
Good
day,
day,
ma'am.
ma'am.